Yes, you read that title correctly. I am decommissioning the Comet. Now why am I doing this? It's a fine little RC. Now, don't be fooled into thinking this was a fine RC when I first got it. This is not an ideal first RC car for beginners, right? It just isn't. It's a very tempting price, it looks fantastic, and it's good spec for the money on the surface. But if you watch my review series, you'll know that this thing was so flawed out of the box that it just wasn't worth investing into. And I turned it into a great little RC now. Well, a fine RC, great's a bit strong. But I've had to put a new speed controller in it, a new radio gear in it, a new servo in it. I've had to service all the shocks, and I've had to basically rebuild the servo saver and add some extra resistance in it by squashing the spring down and putting in a washer. So, yeah. This is a fine RC now, but it isn't a fine RC when you buy it new. If you are looking at buying one of these, I would recommend you watch my review series first before you commit to any money. So, yes, it is a fine RC now. I've turned it into a fine RC and I enjoy driving it. So why am I selling it now? This thing has literally just no place on my fleet. And I'll explain why. Imagine it was a nice day outside and I was like, right, I'm going to go RCing, and the land or the area I was in was perfectly suited to a buggy platform. How many lifetimes would we need to go through before the day comes where I go, I'm going to use an RC buggy, right? Should I use my fantastic Mad Rat? No, I shouldn't. I would rather use the Comet. That'd be a hell of a long time, I tell you that much, because this is better than this in every single way. There's nothing that this does even as good, never mind better, than this. It's got better suspension, better steering, it's tougher, it's faster, it's more robust, it flies better through the air. It holds all the aces, literally all the aces. It handles better. Yeah, so why would I use this? You know. So there's that. The option, obviously, I could sell this on, but that's also a problem because, okay, it's £70 retail. This one has had almost double that spent on it because all the new stuff was probably another £50-ish, something like that. I can't just sell it for what it's worth, really. I mean, what I mean is, if these are £70 brand new, I'm not going to go on Gumtree or whatever and try and get £70 for this, even though it cost about, all in, about 140. Thankfully, I didn't buy this. I got this free the prize draw for being a gold member on the MS UK forum. Thank you again, MS UK. I really appreciate that. Sign up to MS UK forum. I'll leave a link below. But yeah, I've got no place for this. So I could sell it, but there'd be no point in trying to sell it. So what do I do? Well, I did talk about getting a Tamiya CC01. Okay, that would be something I'd like to get in this year if I have spare cash. Well, what do you need for a CC01? It's a kit that you build. You need a speed controller. There's one in there. You need radio gear. There's some in there. You need a servo. There's one in there. Okay, I would need to buy a lower turn motor, or sorry, a higher turn motor, a slower motor, because the CC01 goes at ridiculous speed for its scale. Sort of, it looks like a scale truck almost, and then you put the standard 27 turn motor in it. It goes like a touring car. I'd rather put something like a 50 or 60 or 65 turn motor in it. But apart from that, everything's here. Alan from Tay Models sells these, but he doesn't keep spares in stock for these because they sell in such low volumes that he just has, if he has spares on, they sit for years, they never sell, and he's always got back catalogues of loads and loads of stuff. So rather than doing that, I've just decided to donate this as a donor car for him to rip spares off of. I haven't paid for it, I got it for free, so I'm not losing out. I can use the electronics I bought, so it's all good. So this is getting decommissioned. I still maintain this is the best looking FTX I've ever seen. Now then, cable ties. Get rid of those. Boom. There's a few in here. Try not to cut the ribbon cables, that would be not the best thing in the world. So obviously I'm leaving the standard motor in it, but no use for a 370 size or whatever it is motor. Unplug the ribbon cables from the receiver. So this is an eTronics radio system, eTronics Pulse 2-channel, very reliable, cheap. You know, it's a good system for something simple. A CCO one's perfect, unless I wanted things like switchable lights or whatever, which I don't, or a winch or whatever. Again, I don't. 2-channel, perfect. It's the Hobby Wing 1060 Quick Run. It's called the full name. Great little ESC. Be perfect for the CCO one or whatever I put it in next. And it's a case of I need a little Phillips screwdriver. Which ones are they? This one. These ones here. Get rid of the servo. Again, eTronics. Can't remember if this is a waterproof servo. Find out. It maybe says on it. Come on. It doesn't want to go. Yeah, it's fighting me a little bit, but that's fine. Pop that off there. I'll need to put this servo horn back on the car. This is the included. Too small. That's the included Comet servo horn. The reason, in case you hadn't seen my earlier videos, the reason I had to do all this to unlock the potential of the car is because the car comes standard with a horrid 2-in-1 receiver ESC unit. It's a built-in thing. The reason that's bad is, well, first of all, if one part of it fails, like the radio side of it fails or the ESC side of it fails, you've got to replace the radio gear and the speed control. You've got to do them separately. Or buy a new single unit, the 2-in-1 unit. You could buy a new one of them, but they're really poor. What's my failure rate with them? Mine cut out all the time. It worked, but it cut out all the time, so I count that as a failure. Matthew's Outback flat out just died on its first use, so that was a failure. The Surge that I tested for Alan a few years ago did work, but there was a delay in the throttle, so it's not a failure, but it wasn't nice to drive. This one had a bit of a delay in the throttle as well, and the speed that this motor could put out was massively enhanced by just having a proper ESC. I mean, you're talking, I'd say twice as quick. So those 2-in-1 things are just horrid. And then what on top of that, I'll pop that in later. It's probably gonna. Well, will I get it in here? Well, I need some pliers. On top of all that, the servo that came with this was a really weird design. It had a 5. No, I'll get that later. It had a 5 ribbon cable rather than a 3. Here's the ribbon cable for the servo. Or this is actually, well, I'll get the actual servo. It's the same, but there you go. There's a servo. There's the ribbon cable. It's got 3 wires. The one that came with it had 5 and had a plug that almost looked like a balance plug in a LiPo. So if you replaced the radio gear and the speed controller, which I did, you had to get a new servo because the old servo wouldn't plug in, and it was really weak and really slow and really rubbish. So this entire car is let down by really piss poor electronics, which is why I replaced them all, and it became a good little car. I really enjoyed driving it, but not enough to keep it, because as good as this became, everything else in my fleet's better. I mean, the Mad Rat, it's not in direct competition with some. It's got more dynamic ability than the Launchbox, for example, but we all know about the Launchbox. But yes, I'm going to go out bashing. Mad Rat? Nah. Proline Pro MT? Nah. Lossy XXX SCT? Nah. I'd rather take out the FTX Comet. No one would ever say that. So there we are. Goodbye, Mr. Comet. Thank you very much for the very short-lived memories. Right guys, take care. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.